I'm Nick Howard, and this is my Battle of the Planets project. So first off, terrestrial planets. I included a picture of the rock because terrestrial planets have solid, rocky surfaces, roughly similar to desert and mountain areas of the Earth. There's an image of a father close to the sun, kind of like how terrestrial planets are close to the sun. All terrestrial planets have approximately the same type of structure, a central metallic core composed of mostly iron, kind of like Iron Man's suit is composed of mostly iron. Terrestrial planets have a heavy metal core. As the terrestrial planets grew, the available metals such as iron and nickel migrated toward the center of the planets where the gravitational attraction was the strongest. These planets have common surface features which include desert canyons, craters, mountains, volcanoes, and other similar structures depending on the presence of water and tectonic activity. So for Jovian planets, I said the Jovian planets are Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. They orbit far from the sun, kind of like how the dad is like orbiting farther from his sun. Like quicksand, these planets have no solid surfaces and are essentially large balls of gas composed primarily of hydrogen and helium. The cores of all four Jovian planets are made of some combination of rock, metal, and hydrogen compounds. Jupiter and Saturn have similar interiors with layers extending outward of metallica, hydrogen, liquid hydrogen, and topped with a layer of visible clouds. They are also called the gas planets because they consist mainly of hydrogen, or the giant planets because of their size. So for the dwarf planets, due to their small size, dwarf planets are difficult to locate. At least 4 dwarf planets are located in the Kuiper belt. And because of the belt's distance from Earth and the fact that no probe has yet reached it, scientists believe that there are many dwarf planets in the Kuiper belt. Dwarf planets are objects that exist in the solar system that are larger than meteors or comets but fall short of the definition of a planet. At least 5 dwarf planets have been identified in the solar system, including the famous former planet Pluto, though many more are suspected to exist. A dwarf planet is an object that is not a satellite. It's spherical in shape and has not cleared the neighborhood of its orbit. When an object clears its neighborhood, that means it is no longer affected by the gravity of similar sized objects. Clearing the neighborhood is the only aspect that distinguishes dwarf planets from regular 8 planets. Dwarf planets are able to have moons and other objects captured in their gravity. So for the similarities between all the planets in our system are spherical. The planets in our solar system have similar interiors composed of a core and a mantle. All rocky and gas planets have an atmosphere. Both gas and terrestrial planets orbit the sun. Every rocky and gas planet has a solid core. Terrestrial and Jovian planets have weather photos of all the planets in our system. Show spots including weather activity. That means storms and winds influence the condition on the planets. So I said my favorite planet is Pluto. Well, and Pluto is considered a dwarf planet now. Pluto is composed of a large rocky core wrapped in thick layers of ices. Its icy surface and extremely thin atmosphere are predominantly composed of nitrogen, with small amounts of methane and carbon monoxide. Pluto's atmosphere is hazy and extended enough that it is continually being lost into space through interaction with the solar wind. Pluto has many moons. Some of the others are called Nix, I think, Hydra, Kerberos, and Styx. So, yeah, that's it for my project.